We are unloaded and headed to the lake. Let's do this. Let's do this. What is going on, guys? Today I'm out here at this beautiful spot. Don't mind the million geese that are out here. You know, it'd be really cool if all these geese were out here when we were hunting, but that's okay. I am so blessed to be out here right now. Middle of the week, it's like March 15, 16, 17, I don't know what day it is. It's Wednesday. But we are coming out here and we're gonna be doing some early springtime bass fishing. Hopefully we can get a bass. There's pike in here as well, so that's always a possibility, but very likely that the bass will bite before the pike. Early springtime fishing can be tough. Water temps are definitely, they're cold. They're really cold. So it's like 63 degrees outside right now. It was 31 this morning. So it did freeze last night. So conditions might not be right, but we're gonna give it a try and we're gonna catch some fish. Let's get in there and rib them. I brought two rods out here with me. Both of them are a 7-foot medium heavy rod. This one has 30-pound Power Pro on it, and we are starting with a little Yo-Zuri lipless crankbait. Guy down at the river where I was fishing gave it to me, so thank you very much. I'm gonna try that this afternoon and see if we can't get bit. First cast, there we go. Let's catch some fish now. Come on, baby. The goal is, you know, 1, maybe 2, 3 would be exceptional. But really, just to catch something in Indiana that's, you know, not a carp. I've caught carp this year. I'd really like to start catching some bass. This is the first time I'm really trying to catch bass this year. This place is loaded down with them. But they don't always bite in the springtime super early, so we'll see what happens. This is one of my favorite places to come, but unfortunately, you know, in the summer, those weeds grow up in here and it gets so bogged down with weeds that you can't cast anything. Weedless lures are they're tough to retrieve. Man, it feels good to be back out here. I love this place. I am so ready for the fish to start biting though. Kind of got like a moderately slow speed today for my retrieve. The only reason I'm using rattle traps is because these fish love the rattle trap pretty much all seasons in here. If I don't get any bites within, you know, the next half an hour to an hour, I may switch over to something super slow like a worm or Texas rigged worm. The reason I don't like fishing that way is there's so many weeds down there. Even like in the dead of winter, like ice fishing, you can still pull up some of these nasty muddy weeds and your worm just gets lost in there. So you could be sitting in the bottom hoping you're gonna get a fish, but really you're not even trying because you're just stuck in the weeds. Oh, there's my first fish. Dadgum, come on now. Stay on, please. Really slow bite. Hey, that ain't a bad one. I can't tell how good he's hooked, but... Oh, buddy. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a nice one. About 1.5 pound largemouth on the old lipless crank. Look at that. Oh, he's shaking. Wow, what an incredible little fight. First one, look at all the birds going over. Holy smokes. Tons of ducks. Tons and tons of ducks. This place is insane. Listen to the wood ducks. Wow. There we go. We got us our first largemouth. Yippee. There he is. Go ahead and put him back now. Kind of threw him back a little fast there. I don't want to get soaking wet. Looking around for those ducks. Oh, there they go. I got to get a picture of them. Very cool. All right, first largemouth bass of the year. First largemouth bass of the year, and for those wondering, it came on this little Yo-Zuri lipless crankbait, kind of a shad color, dark black on top and then chrome on the sides. Really excited. Kind of came out from the middle, so they're definitely a little bit deeper than I was expecting, but that's okay. We're gonna keep trucking along and see if we can get any. I think I scared every duck in this lake out of here, but I don't know. I'm just blown away by this place. Never ceases to amaze me. We came out here in the fall to duck and goose hunt, and we did have a little bit of success. Got my first goose out of here, and me and my brother both got our first wood ducks ever. There it is. Those are the weeds. They're everywhere, and they just get worse and worse, and then you get a big thick layer of moss on the surface at times. It's kind of hard to believe how much the weeds are already thick in here. I would not have expected them to still be this thick, because we had a pretty hard winter this year with one point, you know, getting 12 inches of snow. Alrighty, threw on a little Kayak swim bait there. It is 3.8 inches long, and the reason I put that on pearl color is because one, the water's really clear here, and two, it is so weeded up already back here that I can't throw a crankbait already. It's the second or third week. It's the third week of March now, and the weeds are so bad. Just picture that. Third week of March. Imagine what July is going to be. It's going to be awful out here. The really tough thing about this swim bait is that in early spring conditions like this, I'm going to have a fish that's like, you know, a little bit above the other ones, because they're going to grab the tail. It's usually a really slow bite out here in the early spring, so if I catch anything, it's probably just going to be the back of the tail, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a good bite or not. So I very well could be wasting my time over here. It's a little bit shallower, but I got to give it a try. This place looks too good not to give it a try. Well, this spot is okay, just not right now, so I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle out of here. There's one other section I want to try, and then if I don't see anything there, I'm going to go back to the deep section. This is a small lake, you know, it's probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 acres. It's not a monstrous lake, but it's big enough that it holds some quality fish. Some more honkers over there. I was talking to a fella the other day. He was saying that he thinks Indiana's waterfowl seasons are a little bit backwards. Unfortunately, they can't push them back much because, you know, basically all the lakes will be frozen. He was saying that if you want good birds with like fully plumed out and, you know, full mature birds, now's the best time to do it, because they've had all winter to grow. Don't honk at me. Those are some awfully vocal geese. Well, we gave this corner a quick shot. Turns out it's full of geese, and there are no fish right now. This is about 5 foot deep in here, so that's why there's probably no fish. Out in the middle, I think it gets maybe 12 foot at the most. Maybe. Holy geese. Look at them all, just going to town. There's another mallard flying behind me. There's more geese. All right, I won't lie. I have a passion for waterfowl. Just starting to get into it, and I think I might be slightly addicted. I need to get back to fishing. It's fishing season, hunting season's over. So right in front of me, there's a lot of timber. And off that timber is a kind of a nice little drop off there, and sometimes you can pick some bass off of there. It probably goes from, you know, about half a foot deep all the way up next to the island to maybe 4 foot at the end of that timber, and then it drops off to 6 or 8 foot. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm probably sitting in close to 10 right now, but I'm thinking if I cast up in there, I might be able to get something pulled out or off that ledge. Have to take a second to give Yo-Zuri a little props on this bait. I've never used their lipless crankbaits before, but I can tell you straight up that this thing vibrates in the water just as hard, if not harder, than most of the other lipless I have. And I'm impressed. I'll probably be a buyer. I don't know the price point though, so I mean, if it can compete with things like Rattle Trap and Strike King, then I'll for sure be a buyer. Well, we got one so far. That ain't too bad. I've been distracted by all the ducks and geese, but I think I scared all them off now. And so we're gonna get back into fishing now. I think if we wouldn't have had that freezing weather, we probably would be doing a little bit better, because this probably would have been day 4 or 5 without freezing weather in the mornings. And I think that these fish would probably be a little more aggressive. You know, one fish so far is really, really good, but I am guessing that in the next week to week and a half that this place is going to turn on quickly. You know, once they start to bite, they really bite good for about a month, and then after that month, they kind of just turn off completely, simply for the fact that the weeds get too bad. So I'm going to keep pushing forward and see if I can get some more fish, and then we'll keep hitting this area. We're going to keep fishing today, but we'll definitely be back hopefully soon before the weeds get any worse, because they're already really thick, especially in the back cuts where it's a little bit shallower. It's insane here. So let's see if we can catch some more fish, and let's get back in there with the old lipless crank. There's a fish. Aha! Come on, stay on. Ooh, yeah, he took it nice. There we go. He pretty much buried that. Hit it head first. Fish number 2. Man, does it feel good, and this guy's freezing cold. Let's see if I can find my pliers. Fish number 2, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that guy. That's incredible. What the heck? Call me Kevin Van Dam, baby. This is the earliest I've ever caught bass in Indiana. I can guarantee you that. I mean, we are way, way early. Look at there. What a crazy afternoon. I've been so distracted by the ducks. I don't know, I love wildlife, I love nature. Everything about this place is incredible. And one of my favorite things about coming out here, one is there is a beautiful duck going over. I don't know what kind of duck that thing is. Probably can't see it on the camera. It looks like a diver maybe. It's got, I don't know. I don't know anything about duck hunting really. But wow, that was cool. We're gonna get back in there. Hopefully we can catch some. But what I was gonna say is the nice thing about this place is that there's really nobody ever here, which is crazy. The only time there are people here is, I guess, during hunting season. And it's still pretty thin even during hunting season. Usually like opening day is a zoo out here. But then after that, it's just bare minimum of people. Let's get back in there and catch some more fish. 2 fish down. Would like to get one more. One more would cap the night off and make it just insanely exciting for me. Early March fishing. Second fish I caught tonight was off of a little sandbar. The sandbar really gets shallow, maybe 2 to 3 feet, and then off of that's another good drop off. And I think that fish was kind of right on the edge there, so maybe they're considering moving up. It's still pretty early to be moving up to spawn, but they might be thinking about it a little bit or looking for some bait or something along those lines. We're getting close though. We are getting close. Just swapped out some batteries, probably got about an hour before sunset. I don't know if I'll fish that long or not. I'm gonna push for that 3rd fish though. We're gonna see what happens. There they go. Wow, that is so cool. There we go. That one hit right at the boat. I have 1 foot of line out, so I have no choice but to let a little bit out. Oh yeah. This was probably the last place I expect. Okay, all right, quiet down over there. This was the last place I was really expecting to get a bite. This side's usually some of the slower area of this lake, no matter what time of year it is, because it's accessible from the bank. Number 3. Look at that. Beautiful little number 3. And what a day. Sun's going down, number 3. We're gonna throw him back. I can't believe that hit it at the boat like that. That was, I mean, pretty close to the surface. Nothing about that should have worked out the way it did. Glad it did though. There's one. That was kind of a cluster, but I got him. Hooked on the outside of his mouth, which is weird. Definitely not snagged. I mean, he hit it. I'm wondering if he took the front and it popped out. Number 4. Number 4. Okay, all right, dude. I'm gonna put you back in just a second. We got another one, which is incredible. What the heck? We're passing our the goal, which was 1, then 3, and now it's 4. And I'll just take whatever. 4 is awesome. I'm super happy with that. We're gonna let this guy go. Number 4. Boom. That one came off the island as well. There's a, well, not an island, I guess it's a little sandbar. The little sandbar that's out in the middle of this lake, you know, it goes up to about 2 to 3 feet. And the last one I caught was on the opposite side of it, so I got one over here. I might try a little bit more. I think these fish are slowly starting to become more active, and I'm hoping over the next couple days that they pick up even more. It's looking like the next week or so is going to have a good amount of rain in it, a lot of temperatures in the 40s to 60s, and this water temp is for sure going to be starting to raise up there. Once we get into that prime 60-65 degree water temp, this place is going to be absolutely nuts. So stay tuned for those videos. I'm sure I'll be out here for that. But super excited. Let's keep fishing. There's one. Ah! He let go. Dang it. He was running at me so hard. There he is. Holy smokes. Knocked slack in the line and wrapped it around the rod tip. I reeled in way too far, but it is what it is. Note to self, buy some real pliers. These little dinky ones are great for cutting braid, but that's about it. Another one. Seems like all of them are around that 1 pound. You know, this guy's got a bloody tail, so maybe they are starting to move up on beds. But another beautiful largemouth off the old Yozuri. She's really doing it dirty, getting a lot of these fish. I think I've started to figure out a pattern because that's 2 bites in a row now. I'm working the edge of this little sandbar out here, which you can't tell other than the moss. If you look at the moss, you can you can tell where it's at, where it stops. Moss, no moss, and it opens back up. So anywhere that there's moss, rolling right along the edge. And I've also slowed my bait way down. And slowing it way down, I think, might be what's going to get me the next bite. There's one. What is that? Is that a bass? It is a bass. He skied out of the water. That was weird. And he's like going crazy. This is the most active bass by far that I've caught today. Same exact spot. I had 2 hits in there. This may have been the second one. We're gonna put him back real quick. No need to keep him out of the water very long. Just get a quick picture if you want and throw him right back. That's 3 now. Okay, so they've definitely moved up shallow. Oh, he popped. He popped, what the heck? And throw right back in there and see if I can't get him. Nice and slow. They might still be in the area. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Man. The thing that kills me the most about losing fish is that you just never know. It could be a 3, it could be a 4 pounder. Sometimes you can tell right away if it is or not, but there's also pike in here. I love catching pike because I don't get to do it very often. There we go. So this little half-acre section right here is turning out to be impressive. No blood on the tail of this guy. Still a really cold fish. He's got something white on his eye. I don't want to touch it though. It's kind of hard to see. You might be able to see it, but looks like he got some water on the camera there. He might have like a cataract or something. That's weird. There's a fish. Is he on? Yeah, he is on. That's just weird. They can turn so fast and come right at you. That is a thick fish. Got a pretty small mouth, but the body is just ridiculous. They eat well in here, that's for sure. A lot of bluegill and, you know, smaller minnows. I'm assuming they're small bass, but I know there's lots of bluegill, lots of bass, a few pike. I've never seen crappie, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's no crappie in here. Every time I come out here, I always go for largemouth or, you know, something that could catch a largemouth or a pike. I have iced fished this a few times and caught some bluegill, but other than that, that's all I've seen out here. I tell you what, the bite sure slowed down a little bit. I think I caught every fish off this little sandbar that's interested at the moment. It was like bang, 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 back to back. caught a bunch, and then they kind of just shut right off. I think we might still be able to pick off 1 or 2 more on the way back, but if not, either way, it's been an insane day. Better than I ever could have dreamed, especially this early in the season. It's incredible to just get one. There's one. Oh yeah, right off the weed edge yet again. It's a little guy, littlest one of the day. What do you know? It's a pretty big bait for such a little fish. Smallest one of the day, 10 or 11 inches probably. Not a pound, I'm guessing, probably under a pound, but still, I'm excited to be able to catch some fish right now. I'm gonna work just a little bit more of this corner right here, and then I think we're gonna call it a day. Alrighty, that is a wrap for the first kayaking trip of 2021. Incredible time out here. I cannot believe how many bass I caught. I have come out, I was thinking about it, and I think I lied to you. I think I have came out one other time in early March, and I did not do very well. I maybe got 1, 2, or 3. I don't know. It was a really low number, 3 at the most, and it just wasn't good. But I was looking back at some of my older videos, and you know, about a week after now is when prime time really starts to pick up, and like quickly. So hopefully we can come out next week. I was looking at the forecast, and it looks like there's quite a bit of rain coming in, so we may not be able to get out next week, but for sure, like in a week and a half or 2 weeks, this place is going to be nuts. The weeds are already starting to pick up and really getting bad, so hopefully they'll still not be completely terrible by then. Also, if we get like 3 or 4 mile an hour wind, the wind will just push all the weeds to one side. I never want to ask for, you know, 20 mile an hour wind, but if we get just a light moderate wind, it'll push all the weeds over to the one edge, at least the top weeds, and then it'll make it really nice to fish. I love fishing lipless crankbaits. It's a little more fun to me than slow finesse fishing, but yeah, incredible time out here. Caught a ton of fish. Can't wait to come back out here. I think we ended up with like 9 or 10. I don't know if I'll show all the fish or not, catches in the video, but great time out here. So I gotta say thanks for watching, guys. You really gotta subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be doing this all summer, all fall. I mean, there's just a zillion videos to come, so make sure you subscribe, stick with it, follow along. You guys are really gonna enjoy these videos. So we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace, y'all.